So my name is Nicole Noecker. I'm a concentration year student. I'm also a dual degree with the Korbel School of International Studies. My concentration here at GSSW is with clinical and high-risk youth. Some of the agencies I looked at last year for my foundation year internship were a couple of different schools in the Denver area. I also looked at a couple of organizations that did work kind of like after school programs with at-risk youth and things like that. The organization I ended up interning with was Denver Kids, which is a organization that works with underprivileged DPS students, Denver Public School students, helping them with academics, with behavioral issues, and with any other kind of obstacles that would prevent them from achieving academically. So my title was an educational counselor. So what I would do twice a week was I was assigned a couple kids on my caseload, and I would visit them at their school and just check in with them about how things are going, kind of brainstorm things that they could do differently, give them different skills, help them with homework or an area that they would be struggling in. I would also coordinate and talk with their teachers and get their perspective and see what the student needed and what areas they need more help in and things like that. I would also coordinate a little bit with the parents and check in regularly with the parents so that they knew how things were going at the school, and if there were things going on at home that maybe was affecting the kids' learning or their ability to succeed in school, then we could talk about that and offer resources to the parents as well. And there was also different extracurricular activities that Denver Kids offered to the students, so I would also help transport students to those activities and encourage them to participate, as well as some students had mentors that Denver Kids provided, so also checking with the mentors and making sure that things were going smoothly. If the mentors had any questions or things like that, I would also check in. I had to write case notes on a regular basis, weekly. Every time I met with a student, I needed to do a case note about what we talked about, what happened, and any kind of follow-up that needed to be done. I attended staff meetings and participated in those, and any other kind of organizational happenings that were going on, I also participated in as much as possible with my class schedule. I interviewed with a couple different, I think 2 different high schools in Denver to be under the school social worker there, because I had been thinking about doing school social work, but I decided that I wasn't 100% committed to school social work, so I didn't want to make my entire year internship be that. If after a month I decided that I didn't want to pursue it, so that's kind of why I didn't want to go the school social work route exactly. But the reason I liked Denver Kids was because I was still involved in the school system, but not as necessarily in the school 100% of the time, so I could kind of get a feel for the school system and see if I wanted to pursue it or not without, being kind of stuck just in that. And then the other organizations that I looked into were basically nonprofit after-school programs that worked either in schools or collaborative with schools. And I had done a lot of that previously, so I wasn't as excited about that opportunity because I felt like I've already worked for after-school programs and have done that, so I wanted something a little bit different. There's also a couple more clinical, very clinical focused organizations, like the Kemp Center was suggested to me as well, but I think I wanted something a little bit more broad, where I got to work with a broad range of clients and a larger number of clients. Since I am dual degree at Korbel with international studies with the concentration in international human rights, my program is 3 years. So I completed my foundation course here at GSSW, and now I'm doing kind of a split between Korbel and GSSW. I'm taking classes there as well as here, and then next year I'll round out all my requirements for both and graduate. I think it's a nice complement because what I want to do is international social work. I want the social work skills and the clinical skills, but I also want to be able to apply them internationally and in a more community development focused program overseas. So I think between the two programs, I get that mix of the very clinical side here, but also the more internationally focused human rights concentration over at Korbel.